Silverstone Media TV. Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talk. Silverstone Media TV. Let's talk. Hi, I'm Caroline Stevens, and this is Let's Talk. And this week we have with us a gentleman who's been feeding the NHS since the pandemic began. So without further ado, let me introduce you to Andrew Hart. Hi, Andrew.
Good day.
You sound like you're Australian. You're down under.
I was a little bit there.
You wasn't
That was
you?
South African.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, a little bit. Anyway, again, I've got my headphones in. I'm not comfortable with them, but there you go. Apparently, I've been told I've got very small earlobes, and that's why headphones always aggravate me and make me hurt. Anyway,
I'm sure the person that
me.
said that wasn't being personal.
Enough about me. Let's talk about you. So, what's the story? Feeding the NHS. I mean, who do you feed?
Yeah.
Doctors, nurses, who?
Well, I've been serving directly to each vehicle, the ambulances as well, as an emphasis, because they are just highlighted as they. Even when I did it between March and June, they were always the most grateful, as if they'd never eaten.
Really?
I don't think they stop. They just keep rolling. They grab a sandwich and go. They don't get hot food.
No.
They haven't got kitchens like hospitals, so where are they going to eat? They're not offered a meal in the A&E because they want them gone out, for cleanliness.
Bringing more people in. So what do they do then for food? Normally, would they just, as you said, pick up a sandwich here and there?
You know what? Every time I've seen them eating, it's out of a brown paper bag or an M&S or Waitrose or Asda sandwich meal deal thing. That's it. Grab it and they have a bar of chocolate.
And they do such a great job, don't they?
Oh, my God. I mean, they save your life in the vehicle.
I know.
And then where last week or 2 weeks ago, you couldn't get in. I mean, the doctor at King George's told me they were stacked up outside, treating them in the vehicles.
Unbelievable.
For oxygen and stuff. I mean, it's just, they save lives. They're superheroes. I mean, when we talk about superheroes, Marvel and what have you, saving the world, I mean, they're not saving the world, but they're saving real people that could be your mum, your dad, your brother, your sister, your girlfriend.
I know. Amazing. Wow. They do amazing work, don't they? We don't give them enough, do we? Enough respect, really.
No. Everyone's talking about the nurses and the doctors and the NHS. No one mentions ambulances.
Yeah, the paramedics. Brilliant.
Yeah.
So you feed these wonderful people, the paramedics, but you've also been feeding doctors and nurses, which I find really, I mean, it's wonderful what you do, but I thought to myself, why on earth would you need to feed doctors and nurses? I mean, they're in the hospital. Surely they get fed.
Yeah, I guess they do. I mean, there's a canteen there. In some of the hospitals, they still have to pay for the lunch. I think a lot of the hospitals, it's subsidised. But it's the same thing every day. I guess they could be fine. I don't know. But if you're in a COVID ward and you're in all these uniforms and you've got to leave the ward and the floor and you've got to go down to the canteen, make sure you're scrubbed first. I mean, COVID just can move from their body to someone else in the queue. So they've got their regulatory requirements. But COVID wards are quite big now. They're dealing with 100 plus patients. Can you imagine the spacing of beds? It's not just one ward, it's multiple wards because and loads of staff.
I'm saying, but I mean, I don't know. I've not seen it, but obviously you have.
Yeah, I've seen it. I have seen it. But when I bring the food to them, they take it in a box. They bring it into their staff room in the ward. I mean, it's a closed room and they eat it from there. And they're not contaminating or mixing with anyone else.
Yeah.
Accident and emergency departments are dealing with everyone that comes in. Doesn't matter what they've got. They've fallen over. They've hurt themselves. There's so many things, car accidents.
Yeah.
So I take food for them and they eat them in the staff room.
Wow.
Accident emergency I give to. Just whoever I know. Yet last week I gave the ventilate, the clinical care unit, who fix all the ventilators and all the machines that you've heard about in Nightingale, the oxygen machines, the heart machines that monitor your heartbeat. They fix everything and they put them in.
Right.
And I've been giving them food now since April when I met them. And their head, Delroy, this is at Bart's at Stepney, was ill. So I kept one box back and I took it to his home, and he has COVID. And so I put the box on the floor, rang his bell with my elbow, sanitized it after, and then he came out, but I was like 4 meters away, and I said, "Go on, Del, enjoy some food." And he was coughing non-stop. He got it obviously from walking around the hospital. He's not in the Covid wards.
When you get right down to it, isn't this a moment what it's all about, boy? And when you get right down to it, don't you just think this moment takes everything? Holding you, touching you, boy, I need a whole lifetime to do all the things that I wanna do for you.
So you go into these wards, you go into A&E, you go into wards, you go to Dell's home, but mostly when you're in these wards, are you ever worried that, you could get COVID?
I've had COVID twice. The last time was Christmas Day when I delivered food. I stupidly did a group photo with the urgent treatment centre guys who I've become very good friends with. You get a feeling you're invincible. And I suffered. I got hit for 4 or 5 days.
So you hit on a really good word there, invincible. And I've used that word many times relating to younger people who are out there in general, who don't bother wearing masks and stuff. And I think that's because they're young and they're fit, they think they're invincible.
Where are the masks really protecting you properly? I mean, everyone thinks it's like Man in the Iron Mask. You put a mask on, you're protected. You can walk anywhere you want. So it's not the case. They get moist. You touch it with your hands. You then touch your eyes. You're yourself. If it collects on the outside and you touch the mask to take it off, you don't wash your hands. You touch your eye, boom. Your ear. It's
I go out shopping. I mean, I actually hate going shopping now. I've tried to do online shopping, but I hate online shopping as well. I've tried I've tried it a few times, online shopping, and it's like
I see that shirt. You had that a year ago.
That's quite right. But what they do is with the online shopping is if they don't have a particular thing that you've ordered and paid for already, they make the choice for you and change it to something similar. And many times I've had stuff delivered and I've got the something that's similar, but that I don't like and don't want. So I prefer to actually go shopping, see what I'm buying. But the thing is, when I go, I look like something out of a Apollo 14 or something. My whole face is covered, and I always wear gloves, so I don't touch nothing in supermarkets.
Can't do wrong, can you? Make sure you wash your hands when you come back.
And as I get in, they come off.
Yeah.
And everything comes off.
I haven't done that.
And wash. That's what you need.
I haven't done that. I just wear a mask.
I think the government needs to, maybe make that some also stipulation that gloves. I mean, I order them online from Amazon, like plastic surgical gloves. That's all. The same that the guys are wearing in hospital.
And with gloves, again, you touch something, you think you're safe, you get a full sense of security, and you go like that. Or in your mouth. Or...
Not me. Once I've got them gloves on.
How many people like you? What percentage? Low percentage.
Well, maybe.
Apparently, there's in every hour you touch your face tens of times.
Look how many times I touched it today. I'm talking to you and I can actually see myself.
Yeah.
But mind you, a lot of my problem
is,
look, the hair. Hairdressers. When are they going to open again? and
Yeah.
the earphones that are annoying my ears. So I've not stopped touching my phone.
There you go.
And don't you find
There
like
you go.
everything's itchy? You know, when you're planning on filming, suddenly I get an itch. My nose itches, my cheek itches. It's like when you go to bed at night, you just suddenly get comfortable, don't you, in bed? And then you get an itch. And
Worse is the ear, when the ear starts itching.
Oh, what?
You know, and someone tells you that, and then you really think about it, and then you want to scratch your ear.
I know. It's a bit like not hiccuping, like yawning. You know, you're sitting on the train and the underground, and you yawn, and then suddenly, like, someone over there's yawning, and someone over there's yawning. It's
every time I talk on the train, there's loads of people yawning around me. I don't know why.
I know, it's crazy. It's catching.
Yeah.
Maybe we should start wearing masks against yawning.
Oh God.
Anyway, let's get back to you and what you've been doing. So you must have been in the business of food to have started this food in the NHS.
Hotels and restaurants, and I've been in the food I've had this restaurant for 3 years now.
And that's what I can see on your t-shirt, Burger Bites.
There you go, Burger Bites.
Burger Bites. Well, I have to say, everyone.
It's Burger Bites and Bite Me Burger.
Right. Well, I have to say, everyone, I've actually been to Burger Bites, and the food was delicious.
It's
Best
fresh.
burgers
It's always
I've ever
fresh.
eaten. So you're
even the stuff for the hospitals, because it doesn't mean
at Burger Bites, right?
Yeah, we cook it straight fresh on the day. We get the bread in on the day, the meat in on the day, the veg, the sauces are made on the day, and we keep it fresh always. So
what sort of things are you cooking and bringing in apart from burgers?
What, to the hospitals or just generally?
To the hospitals.
No, just burgers. It's too complicated to get the fryer working for chips and for different things.
So
plus,
just
they don't want
burgers. Right. Okay.
Yeah,
so
and
I
it's
see
less
as well
greasy.
that you're sorry, my earphone's fallen out. That's my little small earlobe, but I can still hear you with the other one.
Okay.
I read somewhere that you also been feeding the Salvation Army.
They're across the road to us, so I've done it occasionally. Bit difficult because they only have set days people can go to them, and we're not cooking those days. Right. I did them on Christmas Day, right, but it wasn't the Salvation Army. We did the homeless centre in Oxford Street.
Oh, lovely.
That one but it's funny, when we got there, because it was cold, they placed most of the people in actual homes or homeless shelters. Right. So there weren't many. So I had to take a few of the boxes back. But I gave them to the University College Hospital, the spare ones. So that was fine. There's loads of them.
You've done so much for these people.
It's only burgers, though. I mean, people say, they commend me and say this and that, but it is just burgers. It's not hard for me.
It's not really just burgers. It's just not the burgers, is it? First of all, you have to have people to cook the burgers, put them together, the boxes. Then it's all the delivery. It's not just a burger. It's the
I agree. My staff have done it for free. They've wanted to help people. They've come in out their own time to just do it for free and help us. I've given my free time. I drive it and deliver it personally. It's not a big deal. I mean, I give up a day of my life. So I'm downplaying it, but it does make a difference to their happiness and their energy levels.
So let me ask you, who's actually paying for all these burgers? I mean,
so I paid for it out of my own pocket or charity money that I've raised on Just Giving.
Okay.
But I've laid it out first. If the Just Giving gets enough cash, then I put it to the next one and the next one and the next one.
So you're actually paying out of your pocket initially?
Yeah, I have to. I mean, even with the Just Giving page, it takes 14 days to get any money.
It's very commendable. So
it's okay,
tell everybody about this Just Giving page so they can still just keep giving.
A lot of people have a difficulty. So if you go on justgiving.com,
right,
and then they have a search button, and you look for Burger Bites, BITES, it takes you straight there. Okay. Always on a visual and vocal. You can't say FCH² apostrophe. People just won't write that down. No. So it's just simple. Burger Bites,
so it's just
like this one.
Giving.com. And
just Giving's the charity portal.
So just type in Burger Bites, and they will find you. Well,
and if anyone can do £5, £10, £20, do the whole lot. If someone's really generous. And they can even come with me. I don't mind. I mean, on last Monday, my friend Mike Berg phoned me up because I was 3 weeks in intensive care at Wellington South Humana at St John's Wood.
Right.
Will you take them some burgers? I said, yeah, what do you want? So he said, I'll do this and that. So I took them and he gave a donation. I didn't ask him for. I don't ask him how much. Then another girl I yell at, she made, she's a restaurateur herself with a food hygiene rating and what have you. She made halal chicken, rice and roast potatoes, 60 of them. So on the Sunday, I took them, I didn't even make them. She made them at home. I took them to North Middlesex Hospital, to the maternity, A&E. And it was nice for her.
Making me hungry, actually.
Yeah, it was nice, the food. She gave me 60. I ate 2 of them. I have to test it anyway to make sure it's okay before I deliver it.
Of course.
And I said to her, do you mind if I nick a couple of them, for my lunch? So it was really nice. Really good cook. And she loved it. She was really happy to do something. So if anyone out there also doesn't want to give, but they want to cook.
They want to actually cook.
And they can do, but they've got to do the allergens, and they've got to be aware of food hygiene standards as well, and sealable units. And then I can take it to the hospitals. The issue is with hospitals, they rely on my health and safety rating, and what they know me. I've been serving them food for a year.
From you, basically.
Yeah, and I have to check that the food that they're giving me is compliant. And because don't forget, you give the wrong food to a doctor or a nurse or someone, and they get ill. God forbid.
Yeah.
So you have to be, and we're really stringent.
When did you actually start? The first day
doing the hospitals?
Yeah, the first day you went and delivered burgers.
March 16th last year.
So from March 16th, right? From March 16th till now, how many meals do you reckon you've delivered?
I know, 55,000 but mini burgers.
Wow.
So but they have 2 or 3 each, so it's not
55,000. That's a lot.
Sounds a lot, but when you're doing, we're doing 500 burgers on Tuesday. Normally we did our peak was 1,160 on the busiest day. We did 16 hospitals in one day. South London, West London, the Charing Cross Hospital. I went to Camberwell, King's College. I did Woolwich. I did Lewisham. I did Essex hospitals. But I had 2 drivers at that stage. Well, in the end, I couldn't cope. You can't get to 16 hospitals all around London, so I had 2 drivers. Howard, he's actually a Manchester boy. Howard, really? Howard Sheldon. Yeah, he was driving.
What a
guy
wonderful
called Jason.
Thing you're doing. What a wonderful
well, this Jason Schlesinger phoned me up. It was really funny. And he said, can I help? I've been in Barnet intensive care. I had COVID. I nearly died. I was there for a month with ventilators. I've got the all clear. He talks very gruff. Can I help? I said, yeah, Jason, look, actually, do me a favour. Would you go to Camberwell King's College for me and take some burgers? No problem. I'm safe. I can't make anyone ill, And I said, all right. So he comes to the restaurant, picks up the installation boxes, drives there. As he arrives there, I phoned Luke, who's the head of operations there. I said, Luke, I can't make it today, but Jason's there. He goes, no problem. Anyway, Jason pulls up, gives the boxes. There's a standing ovation of 20 nurses and doctors, right? His first day. I phoned up Luke. I said, Luke, no disrespect, but every time I've been in the last month, no one's even said hello except you. It was just, and it just made me laugh. And actually, I don't want that. I don't want the standing ovation. I found that funny how that happened. Yeah. But he found it very traumatic. Story. He couldn't do it. Wonderful story. That lot. Yeah, Howard enjoyed it. He did it for about a month.
You must talk to on this journey that you've been on and going in hospitals and speaking to doctors and nurses. You must have heard some horrendous stories.
Oh, of course. I remember in April, I said to Pretty, she's on the reception at A&E at Bart's in Stepney. And I said, how's it going, darling? She goes, terrible. They're piling up the bodies. I said, flipping. You hear things like that. And then I'd be on the 4th floor at Bart's. I say Bart's, I went every single day and gave them like 200 burgers every day. And I remember 4 doctors with a woman, all ventilated, came out of the side door. We didn't have time to see it. And I just rushed back to the other side of where there's lifts. There's 2 sides. And I just thought, Jesus, that was close, But you're in a confined space. So you always wonder. I was gauging myself a couple of days after. Am I okay? Am I,
Yeah.
You don't know when you get it. It just
have you made...
And this new variant.
Have you, sorry, interrupting. I was going to ask you that, again, on this journey, this wonderful journey of yours, have you made friends with some of the doctors and nurses? Can you say, well, you know what?
Some of the most amazing.
I met some amazing people, and me and him or me and her, we will be friends for life.
Yeah, all of them. Probably 50 people. One of them I spoke to a week and a bit ago, Dr. Munchie. He's the head of urgent treatment centre for the trust around Queen's Hospital, King George's, and I think Havering Hospital. So I phoned him up and said, how are you doing? I'm bringing you food tomorrow. Next week, I'm thinking of coming to the Essex hospitals again. I hadn't been there since July. He goes, that's great. He goes, I've got to tell you, I've got COVID. I'm ill at home. I said, but you got it in March. He goes, yeah, it's just we're inundated. I said, you busy there? He says, we're so full, we're sending all the patients to East Midlands. He goes, we can't cope. And then I delivered there last week and saw Kerry, who's like his assistant. And I actually went inside and I've got to be mental. I'm walking in there, the queues of people for the COVID testing. I'm passing. But they're doing a wonderful job. But anyway, so I went through, delivered the food, and I said, please make sure they're served hot. She goes, don't worry. And I give the security there. The one security guy is really a cool guy. He looks like a lunatic, rough looking, piercing blue eyes. And I said to him, he likes the Spanish Galician beef. So he came to the door and I said, how are you doing? He goes, I haven't had a day off since you've last seen me. Wow. So I said, can you see? Yeah. So I said, you're joking. Yeah. So he had, I gave him 2 burgers. He was on the entrance doing security for where they bring in the patients from the ambulances to A&E. Right. And I said, you haven't had, I said, you've been ill. He goes, I'm vitamin D'ing, vitamin C. I'm training. I'm keeping healthy. He goes, I'm making sure that I'm by the air. There's people who are unsung heroes. They may not operate on the people, but without them, they haven't got the security, the porters, the transports. I mean, people forget.
Absolutely. They forget like the porters and the cleaners and all these people. They're so vitally important to the whole running of the NHS.
Yeah, you can't do one without the other.
Absolutely not.
She did tell me, Kerry, that the girl that I used to know and brought food before last summer, she died from COVID. So, front line. She goes, do you remember? I can't remember her name now. Perry or something like that. She goes, do you remember her? I said, yeah, I think so. She goes, well, she died. For them, it's like a few months ago, so they've absorbed it.
They must have lost
and then I spoke to
many colleagues as well.
Yeah, so many. I spoke to the doctor at King George's who loves the Spanish Galician meat because he went to Galicia. And I said to him, how are you doing? This was last week. He goes, bit better now. It's calmed a bit. He goes, but beginning of January, they were stacked up outside. He goes, we did not stop. And we were down 30-40% of staff who were ill. He goes, not only do we have like peak craziness, because we were short staffed. Yeah. I just thought to myself, gee. And I said to him, do you get depressed or down? He goes, we ain't got no time. I said, you probably will, like the soldiers, when you come off the battlefield,
of course,
feel it. He goes, yeah, we have counsellors.
They will all probably suffer with PTSD when this is, tied down. They will all, they've got to, because of what they've seen, what they've been through.
Yeah, I mean, I get immense pleasure serving them, but I feel guilty also because there's people dying, there's people ill, people that are coming in desperately just to survive, to gasp air, and I'm just walking around and I'm getting so much happiness from helping these people. Yeah, there is guilt when I leave the hospitals, and I think, well, calm down.
Well, that you shouldn't feel guilty.
Doing it for something else.
You shouldn't feel guilty at all, Andrew. That's not a good feeling to, especially with what you're doing. You're helping people.
Yeah. It's natural. It's just the way it is.
So, again, let's go back to what you do. So you've delivered all this food, and you're hopefully still going to be doing it. I mean, are you still doing it now?
I'm doing Tuesday. Plans for after that, I'm not sure because the money's run out.
So let me just interject there and say, everybody, if you want Andrew and his team to continue to do this wonderful, wonderful thing, go to justgiving.com and look up Burger Bites, and please donate £1, £5, £10, whatever you can afford.
Anything.
Keep donating, please.
If I had 25 people do 20 quid each, I can do another week.
There you go. There you go.
So
it's as simple as that.
That's it, justgiving.com.
And we will put across the bottom of here exactly where you can donate to. You'll
Thank
see
you
it
very
coming up
much.
soon. So, Andrew,
Lovely.
I don't want to finish it. I could go on talking to you for ages and ages and ages, but I want to thank you from me. And I'd like to thank you on behalf of the NHS, doctors, nurses, porters, cleaners, paramedics, for everything that you do for them. And hopefully,
I don't see it as much. They're the ones saving lives.
It really is. And hopefully, if people continue to keep giving on the justgiving.com Burger Bites page, Andrew will be able to continue giving and feeding the NHS. Well, you know what? I'm going to now say goodnight and grab a burger.
Go for it.
So yeah, now you're getting me hungry now. So I don't want to get hungry. I'm on a diet, everyone. So I've got to stop talking about food. And this whole show has been about burgers.
Oh dear.
God. Oh dear. Anyway, Andrew, thank you so much for being on the
show. You're very welcome. It was good to share the experience.
And thank you so much for all the great things you've been doing for the last 30 years.
Everyone out there, let's survive it.
Please God, all be well. Bye, Andrew. Thank you so much.
See you.
Silverstone Media TV. Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talk. Silverstone Media TV. Let's talk.